Welcome to this week's Dream Car judging video here at BOTB. We'd now like to hand over to today's lawyer from Onside Law who'll oversee the proceedings.
Hi, my name's Femi Williams from Onside Law, and I'll be overseeing the judging this morning. Firstly, I can confirm that the competition data has already been sent to the verification company, Promo Veritas. I would now like today's judges to introduce themselves and, using the secure link provided, mark on the screen where they think the centre of the ball should be. The group will then come to a final panel decision.
Good morning, my name's Matt Cannon. I'm a senior county referee and footballer.
Good morning. My name is Peter Giorgio. I'm a futsal and football referee.
Good morning, my name's Hugh Gilroy. I'm a referee, a mentor, tutor and observer.
Good morning, my name's Andy Braithwaite and I'm a football referee, mentor and licensed observer.
Good morning, my name is Alain Goma. I'm an ex-professional football player, having played for Paris Saint-Germain, Newcastle and Fulham.
Hi, my name is Kieran Fitzgibbon. I've played football for more than 30 years and I'm also a referee.
Hi, my name's Renee Hector and I'm the head coach of Watford FC Women.
Hello, my name's Wendy Martin. I previously played for Tottenham Hotspur Ladies and beach soccer for England and Team GB.
Good morning, judges. Please could you come to a final panel decision amongst yourselves? For your reference, the larger white cross on the screen is the calculated average of your 8 individual selections.
Thank you very much, Femi. Good morning, everybody. Before I draw some lines in, I'm going to come to you, Alain, because you're in the middle of us all there. There's your orange cross next to the calculated average. If you could first tell us the trajectory of the ball, what you think's happening in the shot, and then lastly, how you reached your decision, please.
Yeah, morning, Matt. Morning, everyone. It looks to me like a bouncing ball. I think the ball is dropping in the middle of the 3 players. They seem to be, I think they're on the ground, the 3 of them. It looks like the player on the left, maybe the number 6, is holding the player on the right in blue and black, stopping him, jumping and attacking this ball. So I don't think he's got any intention of playing this ball. The player in light blue and burgundy at the back, I think, is for me is the favorite to play this ball. He's very focused, and he might be jumping to head the ball. So looking at the eyes, the player on the right, I think he was looking very steeply. We can see lots of white at the bottom of his left eye. And I got my direction from the player at the back, facing the ball. He was looking slightly on his right hand side. So I cross-referenced both eye lines, and this gave me the center of the ball.
Okay, thank you very much for that. So firstly, I'll draw some lines up from this player in light blue and burgundy. And then I'll use the same eye for this guy. This is the biggest spread we have from top to bottom. So let us work right to left today. So Kieran, that means you're just there on the right-hand side. That's magnified, a dark purple cross, I suppose. What did you see in this photo?
Thanks, Matt. I wasn't quite sure that anybody was actually going to get the ball. I think the ball is coming in slightly from left to right. I think it's dropping in. And I think the two players in the burgundy and light blue are preventing the player in blue and black from getting to the ball. I think the player in black and blue is looking directly at the ball, but he's looking straight upwards. There's complete white under his eyes, looking as straight up as he can do, so very slightly in front of him, but straight up. I think the other two players are more fixated on preventing him from getting the ball because neither of them can get to the ball. So I think the ball's just gone a little bit past where the player in black and blue can head the ball, and that's why I placed my cross where it is.
Yeah, so you think the ball's just going to be uncontested?
I think they're going to try to test it,
but they're not going to get it.
Exactly, yeah. I think the player in black and blue would be favourite, but I think he's just not going to be able to get the ball because the other two are following him.
Okay, great.
And we can see some flesh on both on this side with the hands, but also on the far side underneath the chin of the player in black and blue. You can just see some flesh there, which I think is the hand of the other player holding him down as well.
Yeah, okay, thank you. So moving across, I think that means we come to you next, Hugh. You're a bit lower, a little bit more central to the player in burgundy and blue in the middle. There's your yellow cross magnified. What did you see in this?
Thanks, Matt. Yeah, for me, I felt the player in blue on the right was an attacker trying to get free and potentially turn and run onto this. Just kind of felt he's looked to be slightly turning. He looks really underneath it, so unusual for me. If he was going to jump and head it, I think he'd already kind of be starting to move towards it. Whereas, yeah, if it's the six, the player on the left who's holding him, I wondered whether he was a defender was going to try and clear this away, come through and head it, because I think it's obviously in the foreground, it's not as low as it looks, but I do think he is holding him with a view to try and play that. And the other player whose face we can see in the maroon, I think he's sort of grimacing maybe to try and get there, but also, as Kieran's just said, I think he's also trying to hold the player in blue, so they've both got hold of him. And for me, I think just based on where and when it's about to be played, I think it's in between all three of them, and kind of, if anyone's going to play, it would be the six for me.
Okay, thank you very much. And moving across, but higher up, is yours, Andy. There's your blue cross, almost in the same line as Hugh's, but a bit higher. How did you see the photograph?
Thanks, Matt. My particular take on this is pretty much echoed what Hugh just said there. I feel that number 6 in claret and blue, Griffin, is going to head the ball. He's coming through, arms out, pushing away the opponent to his right-hand side. Yes, we can see the guy in the middle's face, who I also think is a defender. I think that the two in claret and blue defenders, you can see his face grimacing because of the possible impact, but he's obviously looking up at the ball. But the reason I've placed my cross where I have done is because the fellow in blue, as I think Kieran mentioned, his eye line is very, very steep looking. There's plenty of white under his eye. He cannot look any further back or any further deeper because of the eyelids, as has been said. And I also feel obviously he's looking at the bottom of the ball. So we always put for the centre of the ball. So that's why I've just raised it a little bit higher, because he's looking at the bottom of the ball, and the centre is where I've placed my blue cross.
Okay, thank you. Moving across to the left, but much lower down, is Wendy's. You're next. There's your pink cross, much closer to the players. So did you see it the same way or a different way?
Yeah, thank you, Matt. I think sort of a little bit of sort of each of the judges so far. I do think it's a bouncing ball, a second ball maybe, and I thought the player in the blue and black was favourite for me to win the ball. He looks very focused on the ball and quite relaxed, and I think the other two players are a bit further away and sort of the grimace on their face. They've got a bit of work to do to try and get over and try and sort of compete with the ball. And then the number 6, it looks like, I think he's again because the ball is going to be dropping into the player in the blue and black. I think he's trying to sort of do as much as he can to put him off, as he's not able to maybe get sort of close enough to sort of contest fairly for the ball. So he's trying to foul him. So I've gone a little bit lower. I think we've said in the past that, yes, he is looking very steeply, but he can't see through his eyebrows or his forehead. So I thought he was, looking reasonably steeply, but as well, I thought the ball was a lot closer and he was sort of quite it was quite imminent in terms of him sort of going to be heading the ball. I think providing he's not fouled off it in sort of the time it takes for it to drop into the player.
Great, thank you. Moving a little bit further up and ever slightly to the left is yours, Renee. There's your one more central to the calculated average and Alain's original cross. How did you see your choice?
Yeah, I think I would echo that. I think it's sort of a bouncing ball, and obviously we've got 3 players in shot trying to contest for the ball. I believe that the player in blue and black is an attacker and the other 2 are defenders, like has already been said. And he's sort of travelling towards the ball to make some sort of challenge, whether that might be to, I don't know, to nod it on and try and get through those 2 players or to try and bring it down. I'm not entirely sure of how he will make contact with the ball. But for me, the players in blue and claret are a little bit, they're sort of like leaning back, if you like. So if you look at Griffin, obviously his arms are outstretched and his body language doesn't tell me that he's going towards the ball. And then obviously you've got the other guy grimacing in the background, maybe being ready for some sort of impact. But I think it's a bouncing ball. 3 players are going to contest it. I think the blue will wriggle his way out somehow. But yeah, I felt like he was looking, pretty steeply, lots of white under his eyes. And obviously took his good eye and the guy in the background's eyes and cross-referenced, and that's where I felt the ball was.
Yeah, thank you. Moving ever so slightly to the left again and a little bit lower is yours, Peter. There's your green cross moving out to the left. What was your hang on the photograph?
Good morning, Matt. Good morning, everyone.
Right.
The 3 players jostling for the ball. The player in blue on the right, I believe he's going to be perceived to be the favourite because the 2 players in red are holding him and preventing him to try and get to the ball. The ball is hanging there at the moment, I think. I'm not too sure how it's got there, but it's just hanging there and possibly coming in from left to right, dropping in slightly towards the player in blue. And where I place the central ball is basically in between the 3 of them and using the eye lines of the player in purple at the back and the player in blue on the right, and that's where I cross-sectioned my centre of the ball.
Yeah, thank you. And lastly, but not least, is my own, the red cross there, slightly over to the left, further than everybody. I took it as, again, a second ball. I wouldn't necessarily call it a bouncing ball. It could be popping up from the ground or from another player, not on something. I do think that the player in blue is more focused. I think it's just been said on playing the ball, but he's obviously being held down. And I've taken Griffin's hands. He's got two hands on him, so I think he's got one firm hand we can see on his shoulder, and the other one's just trying to push him away. I went slightly to the left looking at the photograph because of the tilt on the player, Griffin, on the back as we're looking at him. His head's pointing a little bit to his left, and likewise the player that's facing us with the grimace, he's pointing his head slightly to his right, but his eyes are fairly central. So I thought he took a view at that the ball was in front of him. And then again, I've taken quite a lot from this player here on the right in blue and black, who's got quite a lot of white under his eye. So I think it's a contested ball. I think the blue player is more than likely to get something on it, but in my view, he's not in control. It's not like he's going to come out and head the ball and clear it. He's been obviously pushed off the ball, but he seems to be in a stronger position to me than the other two players. And I've just cross-referenced them, and that's how I've reached my choice. So there we have it. We have a huge sort of differing opinion. Most of us think it's a bouncing ball. Well, I think we're all in agreement, although only one person said it. The players are on the floor. Obviously, a bit of a tussle. We've got half saying that the player in blue is favourite to win the ball. And we've got one with Griffin with his back to us being favourite, and the other three thinking the player in facing us in burgundy and blue is going to be winning the ball. And this is how we have the calculated average. And as you see, again, the magnifier is a little bit smaller than a ball. So I would say if it was a ball, mine and possibly Hughes would be encompassed within the frame. And then we have the sort of satellites around the outside. We have Andy, Kieran and Wendy's outside. So it's whether we look to judge with this calculated average because of our differing opinions, or indeed whether anybody wants to see what it's like with one or two of the judges taken out, and obviously the calculated average will be moved around. And then if we have a consensus, as we've said before, then we can go to a vote. So, Peter, what's your thoughts?
I actually think that where it is at the moment is it's well balanced. I think two at the top, two at the bottom, and where their centre is the ball, I think it's a very, very good selection.
Yeah. Hugh?
Yeah, happy. I think there's no kind of one outlier, and we have got two above, slightly to the right, and two below. And personally, for me, where the average is good.
Yeah.
Where the average is good, sorry.
Yeah. Andy?
Obviously, I'd rather it slightly higher, but as I said before previously, I'm reasonably happy with the average where it stands.
Yeah. Alain?
Yeah, I'm very happy with the average, very close to my cross. So yeah, I would keep it as it is.
Yeah. Kieran?
Yes, Matt, I'm happy. Given the outliers, there's a few of us, and all the scenarios, there was a lot of difference in those. I think that's a good average where it is.
Yeah. Renee?
Yeah, could you remove Wendy and Kieran's for me, please? Yeah, for me, I know most people voted to have the average stay as it is, but for me, I would choose that average without Wendy and Kieran's, because I think it brings it more centrally into that close cluster. It's a bit more of a balance now between the blue and the yellow cross, and I think with Wendy's cross, the player in blue and black is sort of looking too steep. And with Kieran's cross, I think if you could put them back in quickly, sorry.
Yes, no, pleasure.
Yeah, and with Kieran's cross, I think the player in blue and claret is looking more to the left of the frame. So yeah, I would remove those two.
Yep. Rennie?
Me, yeah.
Oh, beg your pardon. Yes, thank you, Rennie. Beg your pardon. Wendy.
That's okay. Yeah, I like the average where it is. I think they do sort of balance, the outliers do sort of more or less balance each other out. And I think sort of with any removed, it only moves it very minimally anyway. So I'd keep the average as it is.
Yeah, thank you. And for the record, I would see that Kieran's would be removed personally. I just don't think the player in blue's looking that steeply, and it gives us a very narrow band up. But then again, that's just a personal opinion. So that's just for the record. So we're pretty clear that we're going to judge at this calculated average with all 8 judges taken into consideration. So Femi, after a great discussion about what we're seeing, differing opinions in who's going to win the ball, what's happening with the ball, we've decided to judge at this calculated average with all 8 judges taken into consideration.
Okay, great. Thanks for confirming that, Matt. If you are all happy, then on behalf of the judges, Matt, please could you click submit? Okay. Thank you very much, judges. The coordinates selected are X 2182, Y 1216. That's X 2182, Y 1216. These coordinates will now be passed to the verification company Promo Veritas to calculate the winner of the competition, and they will then inform BOTB. So that concludes the judging process for today. Thanks very much, everyone.